Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to MCTV and the 5th episode of Northwood Replay 2018. My name is Dale Robbins, along with my partner Rich Violette, as we get an opportunity to sit down and talk football with head coach Leonard Haynes of the Northwood Timberwolves here at Northwood University. Not sure if you're joining us in the television realm, if you're doing a podcast, or maybe you're watching us on YouTube. But regardless, it's great to have you along, and thanks for being here with us today. Coach, we're 4 games into 2018. Northwood University has drawn, in all likelihood, what's being called probably the toughest schedule in D2 college football to open the first third of your season. You've faced, as of this coming Saturday with Grand Valley coming to town, you will have faced 3 of the top 25 teams in the country, 2 of those currently ranked number 4 and number 3, with having Ashland this last weekend just dropped out of the top 25 a week ago. You had Grand Valley coming up now, number 3, and of course the battle against Ferris that we had at home a couple of weekends ago. Do not play the lottery. That is not the luck of the draw. And we continue to say that you guys are learning some small lessons, and there's small victories in that 0-4 start that you have. But we continue to make reference, Coach, about the highlights that this 18 team has, and so much of that is heart, desire, and a motor to continue to play each play. How do you assess now, not the start you wanted, but certainly some things that you've been able to see developed over the last 4 weeks, and where you're going against one of the top teams in the country come Saturday?
Yeah, obviously, not where we want to be, not where we thought we would be. I think at the end of the day, we are learning some lessons. A lot of our young guys are getting a lot of playing time.
Right.
We have a lot of red shirt freshmen playing, and we have a lot of true freshmen playing. And so with that, they're gaining experience over time each week, week by week. So that's a positive to come out of it. And again, they're getting better,
right,
as we go along. So our coaches know we're teaching them kind of on the fly some positions. But at the end of the day, you just want to see the improvement and see that they keep fighting no matter what the score is.
Go ahead.
Coach, I know, some things are out of your control,
yeah,
right? And I'm sure from a coach's standpoint, you are keeping it very positive. What's the team's attitude? I'm sure your attitude is great. I mean, I'm sure that rubs off on the players.
Well, yeah, you got to stay positive when you're going through a storm. When, you get some adversity, you can either sink or you can just swim right through the storm,
right,
and so we decided to keep our head above the water and keep rolling. And we just got to push through it and know that some positive things are going to come from it. And our practice has been pretty spirited. Our guys are pretty upbeat, and that's good to see as a coach, because you can easily go the other way. And but our coaches have been upbeat. We've been still getting after them, and they're holding each other accountable. So again, that's what you like to see as a coach when you're going through something like this. And no one wants to go through this, but our guys, our leadership on our team has really risen to the occasion and helping out.
And these are young men, and
yeah,
I'm sure they understand.
Yeah,
they are starting to be mature in their development, and they understand what you're going through. You're going through it together.
Yeah, you're going through it together, because life's going to deal you bad hands sometimes.
Right.
So when these guys graduate, become CEOs, managers, they're going to hit some adversity. How do you handle it? And when you're the manager or you're a coach, how do you handle it? Once you get to those type of positions, you don't sink. You got to push through.
You got to get through it.
Yeah.
Right. Still got to open the door.
That's
do
right.
business, right?
That's right.
Coach, a couple of things Rich mentioned that you're not in control of, the draw of the schedule, and it is what it is. One of the things you're not in control of are injuries, and you are now literally in a 4-deep role looking for a quarterback, having suffered 2 injuries on Saturday down in Ashland with Dunacek and Spencer McCourt both getting dinged up down in Ohio. Next man up has been your philosophy for the decade plus I've known you.
Yeah.
It is that scenario now. Young guys now getting opportunities that if I'd have talked to you 5 weeks ago, if we'd had this conversation, you were thinking Joey Garbarino, a great performance and career thus far at Northwood. That's a good offense for you to put on the field. You've not had that luxury since week 1.
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, going into it, injuries happen as part of the
Absolutely.
game, and so we don't make any excuses for
Nope.
that. And it is a next man up mentality. So unfortunately for us right now, Joey's down, Grant's down, And so at the quarterback position, so now Spencer coordinators, you got Christian Martinez, and then we have to also bring up a true freshman, Nate Gomez, and so he's been practicing with us all week, and he's done pretty well also, having not been with us and been part of the scout team, and so it's been great to see how his learning curve is pretty good, and so it's been a push at the quarterback spot this week, and we'll see how the chips fall, after today.
Going back to last week's game, positives. You always find something in positives from tough losses, and I'm sure you found some positives. Can you share any with us?
Yeah, I think we talked about it off camera a little bit. Our guys, Ashland had to put together some drives to get down there, so we limited the big plays, and so
which were really hurting us early in the year.
Yes, and that's testament to these young men too. Learning week by week. All these freshmen that we're playing and new guys that we're playing. But so you have that. Offensively, we're able to move the ball a little bit, and with Martinez later in the game, obviously he was able to get in the end zone, and so we're doing some good things. We made some plays. Again, we have to finish, and that was been our big theme all this week is finishing. So whether it's a block or whatever it is, a stop or tackle, we have to continually to get better. But I see a fight in our guys. They keep fighting, and so that's a positive there. And so they're willing to get better and know that they want to be better.
That's great.
What I've noticed about your teams through your head coaching role, and even when you were an assistant at Northwood forever, is that when one side of your 11 are compromised due to injury or the situation in the game, the rest of that squad, the relationship that you continue to cite that your club has, not only on the field that we get to watch during the play clock, but it's off the field, that relationship, I'm seeing that group of men in a situation where there is an adversity based against them, they rise to that occasion. I'm sure you're seeing that as a coach as your other coaches are. So.
Oh yeah, and we talk about the relationship and being relationship driven, and our guys, even through this tough time, they holding each other up.
Right.
They're holding each other up, still holding each other accountable because they know what we're capable of, and they know what we need to do to get to to get some wins.
Well, they're showing us that, Coach.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at last week's action and results in the GLIAC.
Obviously, Ashland versus Northwood. We see that score 35-10. Davenport squeaked out one over Quincy on the road, I believe.
Davenport 4-0.
4-0 Davenport, yes, they're doing well. Saginaw Valley is another 4-0 team right now. They beat Wayne State over in overtime, and Grand Valley over a Michigan Tech team, and Ferris State over Northern Michigan.
So it is not what a lot of the preseason polls are guessing, because the top of this thing in the middle of this, and it always is. I mean,
Right.
I'm not saying it's up for grabs,
Right.
but there's a different mix going on, a dynamic in this thing again.
Oh yeah,
this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, polls.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't mean a doggone thing.
You betcha.
So it's year by year. A lot of times the polls is a reflection of what you did the previous year.
Right.
So, but we gotta do what we gotta do in order to finish strong.
Speaking of what we got to do, I'm going to assume we get to see some of the highlights we keep referencing, even though the record doesn't show that maybe is a thing. I'm telling you what, your ball club is a fun club to watch.
Yeah. And here we go. We got Grant opening up with a pass here to Alice Pacuzzi. We found a little bit of weakness in their defense there, and kind of went back to back here. Right here to Al again, right in the hole. It was kind of wide open for us, so we wanted to exploit that. And so we started to move the ball a little bit there, and then you see a little bit rollout pass here. This is a 2-minute drill.
Threw that on a dime, great throw.
Yep, to Gary Landless, who's been very good for us this year. And then we, get a field goal out of the deal with David Reiser. And so, again, we keep scrapping, we keep fighting, and we're going, we're coming. And so here it is, a little scramble, a little tackle by Travis up Wilcher. You had a good game, as you mentioned earlier, Rich. 14 tackles, I believe. A little quick toss. There's Travis getting through again on a help and a stop as well. And then here later in the game, you see Christian Martinez in the game, where he goes in and runs for a score for us. So that was good to see. That was a very positive thing. He's pretty athletic. Kid got some crazy legs. Here's a little surprise onside kick Coach Arnold and I talked about. It's a good call. We wanted to try to get some momentum back and show that we want to try to fight as much as we can to stay in this game. And then you see a nice little run there by Christian Martinez. A little extra push on that out of bounds there. Drew the flag, kept the drive going a little bit. So
well, the bright side is they didn't throw him to the turf.
No, man. No, that's right.
You've seen that enough.
Yeah, we don't need that. We need to keep them all healthy. We need to keep them all healthy.
So we've taken a look and we've talked about some of the numbers and your numbers. Your defense is getting a lot of work because the sustained drives with the change in personnel leading your offense has been literally changed each game. Your defense is still holding up simply because Ashland has an offensive bit of a mechanism as they do on the defensive side of football. Your defense is getting all the work in the world, and they are still standing strong in the trench. Talk about your defense a little
Our
bit,
defense
Coach.
is hanging in there, yes. They've had spurts where they play well, but,
Right.
some of the things we have to get over the hump with is, stopping people's opening drives.
Right.
We got to be able to get off the field and get our offense a chance. And so, again, we have a bunch of young guys out there playing, first-time guys. So, again, they're still learning, and it's a process. But we have to do the little things in order to get off the field to give us a chance, And again, we talk about small victories. That would be a small victory, but and our guys understand we got to get off the field.
Right.
And we were so close a couple of those times, especially in the opening drive or two. Defensive line was playing real well. We had the quarterback hemmed,
Yep.
but he's a great athlete.
Yep.
He slipped away and still didn't have the big plays, but we had him if we can just wrap and tackle. But again,
Exactly.
I'm not taking anything away from that quarterback on the other team.
No. We knew going into it he was very elusive, very good quarterback, could run, and if he doesn't have a pass, he's pulling and he's running.
Yeah.
So, and our defensive front, they've been playing, decent. We got to get that back end straight.
Well, as we always do here on Northwood Replay, we've talked about what was. We are going to, after the next break, talk about what is. But as importantly as the rest of all this football stuff going on, we're going to introduce you to one of the X-Men. And the X is on the defensive side of that line of scrimmage. We're going to introduce you to a defensive lineman, plays for Coach Haynes, and he is a junior. And you're going to meet Josh Dabney right after this message on Northwood Replay.
With an amazing studio, fantastic equipment, and a stellar production trailer, there's no better time to become an MCTV producer or volunteer. You can even make your own television show. Check out some of our upcoming training dates and call our station to get started today. For more information on trainings or anything else related to MCTV or MGTV, make sure you check out the city's website. And don't forget to like MCTV on Facebook.
Welcome back, everybody. Northwood Replay, Episode 5. We are going into Week 5 of the 2018 football season at Northwood University. Dale Robbins, Rich Violette, and just absolutely excited to have Josh Dabney join us, one of the defensive linemen, the X-Men, for the Northwood University Timberwolves. And Josh, I understand that you have a pursuit now in your junior year on the field. Tell us a little bit about what are your aspirations a year from now when your Northwood education is complete. Where are you headed with this?
Right now I'm majoring in healthcare management.
Okay.
Last summer I had an internship with Meridian Healthcare, and I'm looking forward to getting into my career and stuff like that. So.
Is the classroom preparing you for that?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. I got a class in a minute actually after this interview.
Ready?
So.
We'll have Coach sign you a permission slip if we go a minute over.
No, it's fine. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
So the lessons you're learning in a classroom lecture environment are completely different from what you're learning on Saturdays and Sunday film review and Monday through Thursday and ramping up. And you've got one of the top teams in the country looking at you in about 72 hours. How do you prepare for Grand Valley come Saturday?
We just practiced really hard this week. We've been practicing really hard. We've been staying positive, and I'm really excited for this Saturday. I feel like we can get this dub, and that's pretty much it.
Good.
So.
I can see it in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk, you can see the passion come out.
Sure
I
you
love
can.
passion. Yeah. I'm all about passion. I know, defensive tackle, that's the toughest, biggest, strongest guy on the field is in that D tackle position. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Well, I do now, and I'm making
For
notes.
sure. So,
That's right.
So, what is the job of the D tackle?
Well, you know, we are a tough group. Coach Mack, you know, instills that toughness into us. And basically, you know, our job is, you know, take on double teams, which is always hard. Stay in our gap integrity is what we always talk about, and making tackles when we can.
So first is gap integrity for the run, and then get after the quarterback,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
guessing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't
Run
want
first,
to
run
coach you
first.
here,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You do
I'm
too.
just proud of the D line guys, especially the D tackles, because I know it starts up front with you guys.
right,
For sure. Yeah.
And Coach Haynes makes a reference, you know, every game starts on the line of scrimmage. And, of course, he's a D coach to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So he tends to side with you guys,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
as head coach, right? So let's talk a little bit about you guys. You guys have spent some time on the carpet. Your offense is looking for that chemistry, minus your season starter with Garbarino down, and you went through a couple quarterbacks on Saturday. You guys are carrying literally as much of the load of ever before of game minutes, because your defense is being asked now to stop some of the most competitive buzzsaws in Division II. How do you keep the young guys around you? Because you're surrounded by them, man. You got red shirts and you got true freshmen in every huddle. How do you, as one of the leaders of this club, continue to express the practice ethic and the game ethic with what Saturday comes?
You know, I'll just try to like take that D-line toughness and like disperse it to, you know,
Okay.
the corners and the people that's young right now. We're just doing it play by play. You know, if we just look at film, you know, study film, make sure that we don't make the same mistakes over and over again.
Right.
I feel like we can be the best defense in the GLIAC. So, you know, that's how I think about it.
You bet.
You got a lot of pride, a lot of tradition coming from Orchard Lake St. Mary.
Yeah.
The old red and white out there,
Alma
two
mater,
state
yeah.
championships. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Like Dale said, the mentoring. You got a shout out to a player out there that's kind of under your wings, beneath you.
My little brother, KJ Hamler, he plays at Penn State right now, so he's a freshman over there, and he's actually really balling. I just talked to him the other day, so shout out to him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
In the couple of minutes we have left with you, Josh, I know that coming from winning programs and not tasting that this year, you still got goals and you still have things that you want to accomplish this year, not even just for yourself. And I know how you guys are, man. You share the love. You have some things that you want this team to be 6 weeks from today as you're closing in on the end of your regular season. You mind sharing what you see as kind of a focal point in the minute and a half that we have left? Is there something that you have as a target on your screen?
Right now, I just want to, you know, point the emphasis to keep fighting. That's one of the one things that we, you know, always preach is keep fighting throughout anything. Don't look at the scoreboard, just keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. And that's what my targets are, just keep fighting.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, you sound just like your coach. He knows. He knows it too. Keep fighting, swim through it. You will get through it.
Yeah.
We'll have a successful season, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Fun watching you play.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, in the comparison Coach made when we had him in the first segment, he had made mention is what you're experiencing now, and as discouraging as it may be on Saturday, because Sunday you forget about it, and Monday you bring what's ever up next in your target. This is life. You know, life is not going to be all about the wins.
Right.
Life is actually the wins that you appreciate following those things that can be a bit of a disruption. I think what's interesting is Rich and I comment all the time on the radio and on the net doing your games is you guys come out for every flipping snap. You just don't stop for the next snap of the football. So even though you've cited a goal, what you do is you end up going each snap at a time. And I think it's just commendable to watch the way you guys go about doing your business. So,
Appreciate it.
all right. Josh Dabney, defensive lineman, Northwood Timberwolves 2018. He's got the Lakers from Grand Valley on his home carpet this Saturday. We invite you to come watch some of the work ethic of one of the strongest positions in all of football, that defensive tackle.
Yeah,
we'll be
baby.
back. Huh? Baby dog.
Yeah, baby.
We'll be right back with Coach Haynes. We're talking about the Lakers. Don't go away. Stay where you're at.
Good luck.
With an amazing studio, fantastic equipment, and a stellar production trailer, there's no better time to become an MCTV producer or volunteer. You can even make your own television show. Check out some of our upcoming training dates and call our station to get started today. For more information on trainings or anything else related to MCTV or MGTV, Make sure you check out the city's website, and don't forget to like MCTV on Facebook.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. Northwood Replay. Coach Leonard Haynes joins my partner, Rich Violette, and myself as we are entering week 5 of the football action here in 2018. And, Coach, we're going to quickly look at the top, the middle, and those in the cellar. And let's take a look at the conference standings thus far, not our overalls, but this is very thirded out, is it not? Just a couple weeks in.
It is. You know, it's kind of starting to separate just a little bit, but you got Ashland 2-0, along with Ferris State and Grand Valley with 2-0. Davenport, you know, got a conference win. You know, Saginaw Valley is doing well, 1-0 right now, and the rest of us, Northwood, Northern, Wayne State, and Michigan Tech are 0-2 right now in the conference.
Let's make a comparison now to what our overall records are coming now into week 5.
Yeah, overall right now you have Davenport with 4-0, Ferris State 4-0, Grand Valley 4-0, Saginaw 4-0, which starting to sort some of the stuff out. Michigan Tech's at 2-2, Ashland's at 2-2, Northern's 1-3, Wayne State's at 1-3, and Northwood's down there at the bottom at 0-4.
And what jumps out is the 3 nationally ranked teams there at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like you guys alluded to earlier, you know, we've played Ferris, we've played, you know, Ashland, and so, you know, again, it's tough. And Tiffin was a good football team.
Right.
I know not in the conference, they were a pretty good football team. So going for this week's schedule, you see Saginaw Valley's at Michigan Tech, Tiffin's at Wayne State, Northern Michigan's at Davenport, Grand Valley comes to the Wood, and you have Ashland at Ferris State, which should be an interesting game to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Talk a little bit about what you're up against right now. We talked a little between the breaks, and you've got a quarterback at hands. Matter of fact, the youngster by the name of Bart Williams is a senior quarterback.
Yeah.
He's owning some of the Grand Valley records. Recently, he was put up by the National Football Foundation. He is one of the finalists for the William V. Campbell Trophy, which goes out to the outstanding academic athlete in a number of schools throughout D2. You've got a job to do, and you have cited that he don't like to run a lot, but he sure likes to go to the air. Talk about Williams a little bit.
Yeah,
for
Williams
us.
Bart is a very good football player. You know, he has been for years, and got a big arm. And not big on running, and you know they have all the talent around him. So I don't think he really needs to run. And so he just got to get that ball out and get it to the playmakers. You know,
Right.
for Grand Valley, and they do have some playmakers, whether it's at running back or receiver. You know, they do a really good job of bringing in some top talent. And so, but Bart is an extremely talented quarterback and very intelligent quarterback. So, yeah, our hands will be full going up against him.
Anything, of course, you're not going to play your hand, but if he's going to be a pocket passer, I'm sure you've got maybe some twists in the line or some things you want to do defensively to get after him.
Well, yeah, you try to come up with something to hopefully get some pressure on him and stuff. You know, a lot of times that ball's coming out a little quick, but you know, and again, Grand Valley's tough. They're tough up front, offensive line-wise, so, you know, it's going to take some extra effort on our part, you know, to get in there and distracting. And so our guys are willing to accept the challenge, and they understand what we're up against.
Coach, you talked about them going vertical quite a bit. You can play a man. You're going to, I mean, what, you going to help over the top? You got certain receiver that you're worried about more than other receiver on their team?
We think they're all talented, you know, receivers. So, you know, you try to mix it up a little bit on them, and you know, hopefully you can win some of the one-on-one battles, because there's going to wind up being some one-on-one battles, and Grand Valley State is good at trying to point out the mixed matches and have you go one-on-one. You know, seeing that our guy's better than your guy type deal, and so. And that's how we have to approach it, you know. We're up for the challenge, and you know, my guy's better than your guy type deal. So it's just one-on-one matchups. You got to be able to win those, whether it's open field tackling and or going for the deep ball on the pass.
Well, we've talked a little bit about, too, this is not the first passer you guys have seen. 3 of your first 4 games are some of D2's leaders in their current. So that young backfield that we've referenced in your linebacking corner, some of the young guys that you're 2 and 3 deep and on the line, they have faced this type of, not this quarterback specifically in Williams, but you face some of these types of offenses, and I think Rich made a good comment earlier, we talked about it, is that last week we eliminated the big play, and that in the first 3 games of your season was difference makers in some of the scores. So you continue to improve on some. Your young guys have faced some good quarterbacks and are now becoming at least seasoned towards seeing another good quarterback.
Yeah, it's good. It's good practice, I guess.
Yeah.
Leading up to this one. But yeah, we good quarterbacks throughout this league, throughout this conference, and you make reference to the quarterbacks we faced. I think are very good quarterbacks, and so yes, we've been battle tested. So hopefully now we take another step in improvement and winning some of these battles now, these one-on-one battles, and keeping the ball in front of us. So and again, like I said, Grand Valley does a great job at trying to spread you out and get you in a one-on-one situation. So again, our guys got to be up to the task. At the end of the day, they got to be ready to play.
Right.
I know they only give up about 12 points a contest, so defensively they're pretty stout as well. A lot of guys make a lot of tackles on that roster.
Yeah.
Offensively, we talked about it. Anything new twist for us offensively as far as, for me, and I know for you too, Coach, you want to get it in the landless's hands. You want to get it in your playmakers' hands.
Right.
Anything different this week?
No, we got to do a better job of getting the ball to our playmakers at the end of the day. And again, we talk about the little things where there's a block here, missed block there. Some of those things we just gotta do, and we gotta execute better. No other way to say it. We have to execute better. And so their defensive front is probably one of the best I've seen so far. Overall, those guys are good tacklers. They do a good job in space. Again, I think they got the athletes where they can make those type of plays. We just got to play sound and play fundamental. I know that's probably a cliche, but we have to execute and we have to win some of these one-on-one matches.
Well, Coach, this coming Saturday, an opportunity locally for fans of football to see some of the best football going on in the country, and that is Northwood against an opponent who's ranked. So Grand Valley brings that to town. Also, as that game gets underway at about 1 o'clock, make an announcement that our athletic department, Dave Marsh and our athletic department, excited and proud to announce that we are having Military Appreciation Day. That includes the tailgate beforehand. There's some things going on. There's some honoring those who have served and those who are currently serving. Show your ID at the gate, and it's free admission to all veterans. Northwood would like to make that invitation, and it's supposed to be a good day for football, and it's always a good day to live in the United States of America and represent and honor those who give us the right to play football on Saturdays. And not worry about a whole bunch of things that the rest of the world has to make in consideration. So 1 o'clock kick, the Lakers. It'll be the top of the conference currently, and somebody looking to make that mark and getting their nose in it, and you never disappoint, Coach. You and your men come out and play football every Saturday for us, and it's always exciting to show up and watch football at this level because you guys play it like you're interested. So if you are, we are. So WMPX 1490, go northwood.com, and our game day stats, hit the link. We're online with that, and we're excited for you to join us at Hand Stadium on the campus of Midlands Northwood University, and we're excited for you to be here 1 week from right now because we're going to talk about some highlights that we don't even know how to explain at this point of the morning. Former partner Rich Violette, and always an honor to hang with my brother Leonard Haynes, and head football coach at Northwood University. My name's Dale Robbins. Go away, but make sure you go away mad. Make a difference. That's our motto. See you next time.